I wanted to talk about something that I saw on a website, and it's called Urban Bella, and it looks like it's a website that focuses on entertainment targeted to black people. But one of the stories that I saw, if you know about Love and Hip Hop, which I did watch the first season, I do watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and there is also a Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, which I've seen that one too. Because in my mind, I know it's a show. I'm not going to take that seriously. I think the biggest disgrace is the side chick show. I think that's a total disgrace. It's so disrespectful and disgusting. And it shows where the society is. But with this show, if you know Masika, which she had a baby by Fetty Wap. She used to be with Young Jock, I believe his name, but there was an altercation and, he did hit her or beat her, they said. So it's Masika, and I'll bring up a few pictures to refresh anyone's memory, but there is a woman named Alexis Skyy, and there are reports that she is pregnant by Fetty Wap. I don't understand. Fetty Wap, he hasn't had a hit in a while. If you know, he did the song My Way with Drake, and that's the only song I know about him, to be honest. I have been hearing about him. I could have swore he had a set of twins, or he had Masika and another woman pregnant at the same time. I can't keep up with it. It's ridiculous. And it's coming to a point where it's annoying because it is just simple behavior. A lot of people will call men simps, but this is a simpleton. I remember that word. Behavior. You're setting up here acting like you're on a breeding farm, and you're making children, bringing them into your bullshit and your mess. It's one thing if it's just you and you want to be out there and you want to pass it out like it's coupons. It's one thing if you want to engage in these sexual liaisons with different women and all of that. But why do you have to bring children in the middle of this? Why are you getting women pregnant? And to the women, why are you allowing someone like Fetty Wap to impregnate you? For money? I don't know how much money he has after all of the children he is paying child support for. I don't get this behavior. This is something that I never engaged in. There was no way that I was going to be out there so-called having fun and getting pregnant and dragging children with me along the way with my fun. If I was going to fuck up my life, it was going to be my life and not the life of an innocent child. And that's why I have never had children and I've never had an abortion. So, because I didn't want to ruin somebody else's life, because I don't have the right to do that to an innocent child. But this getting pregnant thing, because I know we like to talk about men and they don't take care of their children. We like to talk about single motherhood and being left to raise these children alone. But there has to be some accountability. And if I'm going to yell and scream about a lot of men stepping up to the plate and being an actual man and taking accountability, women need to woman up and take some accountability as well, because this should not be happening. And we can take a look at Masika and Alexis and say, okay, they're going after some dude with money, they're trying to get fame and fortune, but still, you can be doing that and not getting pregnant. And people will say that's a guaranteed check. Like I said, I haven't heard a song for him, and I don't know what check these women are going to be getting with as many children as he has. So they're going to be doing it by themselves alone. This getting pregnant by some man who is you don't even know them sometimes. Sometimes women don't even know. They just went out to have fun. They had drinks and they just, screwed some dude, or they are just casually seeing someone, friends with benefits, whatever you want to call it, side chick, sleeping with married men, getting pregnant, or stealing somebody's boyfriend, not being in a committed relationship, not being married and having children, and then want to take a look at the Black community and say, what's wrong with it? What the hell do you think is wrong with it? This is not the way it's supposed to be. And the byproduct is showing that this is not the way it should be. What I'm focusing on is the fact that, yes, these dudes out here can be flaunting money and flaunting anything in your face. And this is a hard system and economy. And a lot of people are trying to come up on a come up. I understand that struggle part of it. But a woman has to lay down with a man to get pregnant. If she does not lay down with him, that's rape. And that's a whole different thing. But there needs to be some accountability for all of the pregnancies that are going on out of wedlock, and these women who are laying down with these men. A lot of this is going to have to stop, or you're going to continue to have this cycle of baby mama, baby daddy, dysfunctional men who are not up to par or not good quality men. And from the looks of it, the women are going to have to take the lead and charge on that, because the only way that a man can have a child is if you're willing to lay down and birth his child. And I think it's disgusting, because underneath the money, underneath the celebrity, underneath the entertainment of it is this thing with women. It is I'm better than you. I can take your man. You should have been doing X, Y, and Z, and you would have been able to keep your man. This woman has a baby by him. This woman has a baby by him. He's mine. I have his child. It's like a back and forth with women, and I think it's absolutely disgusting. And women are not supposed to be acting like this. You should want better for yourself and any children that you birth. To me, in my mind, if you're going to be friends, you need to have established rules. That this is about sex and that's all it is. If that's the route you're going to. I'm not saying if it's right or wrong, but if you're going to go down that route, you need to have rules and you need to practice protection. Honestly, a woman does not owe sex to any man that is not her husband, and a woman does not owe sex or procreating with this man or bringing a child or continuing a man's lineage through a child unless this man is her husband. No woman has an obligation to any man that has not put a ring on her finger and made a commitment and is serious about that commitment. But the way this society is, it's go out and do you, be cute, go out there and have all the illicit sex that you want to have. And once the consequences come knocking at the door, then we're going to call you a whore, a bitch, a slut, an absentee father. You ain't shit. You're a dog. And this goes both ways for men and women. Then you're going to be looked down in society. Then you're going to put yourself in a position where you can be in poverty. It's just so many things that happen. They tell you to go out and have fun and have sex and the joys of sex when they don't talk about the responsibilities. This is another human being that you're creating, and you have to take care of them, and they are relying on you. And it is hard to do it as a single parent. It is not easy. That's why I don't have any children. This is Masika, if you remember her. This is her and Fetty Wap's child. There was this whole debacle about if this child was his or not. What's interesting to me is the blue eyes. I'm not saying that depending on her parents and what their race and ethnicity is, that this child could not be born with blue eyes. I understand black people can have brown, blue, green, but kind of makes you think with the surgery that T.I. wife Tiny got and his daughter. I mean, we do know there are designer babies, and before these babies are even born, you can pick the sex and you can mess with the color of the eyes if you want to, and anything else that you want to mess around with, and you can have yourself a designer baby. That's been going on for a while. But this is the baby that they had. It's the little girl. Okay, it says here, Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. You already know that Masika and Alexis' ongoing feud caused a lot of drama, and Masika claimed that she was Fetty's girlfriend and Alexis was a side chick. See, that right there is ridiculous, and this is supposed to be Alexis Skyy, and this seems like a repeat because with Masika, he was saying it wasn't his baby. He tried to pretend like he didn't know who she was, and then the baby came out. I guess they got a test and he had to say, yes, this is my child. But these women are pretty. I'll say that. Masika has a nasty attitude, but I did want to show her with young Jock, because you know this was a Love and Hip Hop Hollywood when they were together. She was supposed to be friends with a girl who was actually seeing him, and then she decided to mess with him. So this is her MO. This is what she does. But then you have some of these men talking about they want a good woman, the type of woman that they want, but look at what they go after. But that's another story. And then this is from Masika, and she's saying, I'm glad you aren't letting that hoe get to you. She just wanted a baby from him so she could feel important, and now she looks dumb as ever. You're so much more beautiful and mature. Love. These are comments to Masika from some mystery person. And oh wow, they don't even, I'm pretty sure that person doesn't even know what's going on. They probably like the show and they are just speculating from what they see. It's idiocy to think that you know what's going on within these people's lives. You're not even there. You don't see what goes on behind the scenes, and you don't even know if it's scripted or not. So that's, you know, getting a little too deep. I will just say that, you know, Masika did the same thing. I mean, she was willing to get with him. He got her pregnant. He slept with her. She had a baby. What does she expect him to do? Stay loyal? This is something that has been common. This has been going on generation after generation after generation. It's very dysfunctional. It really hurts children to be caught up in this, because at this point these women think they're young, they're cute, they think this shit is cute until their children start to grow up and be able to talk and to be able to say what they were experiencing at the time, and also how this affects their lives. Nobody is thinking about anybody but themselves in this whole situation. This is the man and the woman, because there should be somebody here that's mature enough, which it could be a cycle. Their parent wasn't there, or they conducted themselves in this manner. where you just getting pregnant by men and having babies. This is not good for the community. How many generations do we have to go through where people are just so messed up in the head? They don't have resources. There's no connection to the male side of the family, absentee fathers, women having to be mom and dad. How long is this going to go on? I mean, it seems like people have no shame. They don't give a damn. They don't even give a fuck about their children to do what's in the best interest of their lineage. They don't give a fuck about their lineage at all. You don't give a damn about the next generation and what you're leaving to them, and all you care about is you and now, until you get old and your looks fade and the money is gone and nobody's checking for you anymore. And then you want to cry about how hard it is. And then you want to cry to the very children that you fucked over. But this is something that I took a look at, and it made me think about what's going on within our community. This stuff is still going on. I'm still seeing it. I even see it within my family, just dusty Negroes and beautiful young ladies who do not have enough self-esteem and self-worth, or they're into, I don't know, drugs, smoking weed, the party life, I'm too cute, or whatever the hell it is, and they're getting pregnant by these bottom feeders. Everybody in the family is looking at this person like it's a creature from the deep, and you're sitting up here crying over this person who does not have a job, who does not have a car, who can't treat you with respect. They're putting their hands on you. They're screwing other girls and other women. I mean, they're using your car to pick up another female. I've heard this from coworkers. I've seen this in my family. I've seen this in my community. I think it's absolutely disgusting, and I don't know where this mentality comes from. A lot of people like to say it's slave mentality. They were breeding young women, which is true, and they were taking men around breeding them as well, and they didn't have to take care of their offspring. But at some point, that has to stop. At some point, that was even painful to have your child ripped away from you. And a lot of the families after slavery, they were together. And this was still going on, though. You know, the side family, the child that nobody spoke of. In the old times, people tried to make it seem like as if it was peaches and cream. But it's just that the women didn't say anything. They basically looked the other way, and they may have had fights. They didn't fight in front of their children. They didn't get a divorce. But there were these men who had other children. I know of someone who had about 13, 14 children, and they had about 3 or 4 more that was in another state that they used to go to, saying they were finding work. They wanted to move the whole family so they could be next door. And this was back in around the 1940s, if not earlier than that. I've even heard of, a time earlier than the 1940s where they lived separately and something was going on within the family. So it's been going on for a while, and it's more scandalous right now. It's put out there in the media right now. It's not hush hush as it used to be. But it doesn't matter how long it's been going on. It's very destructive, and that's why I don't have any children. It's not that I don't like children or I'm being selfish. It's just that I'm not going to be a single mother. I am scared to bring a child in this society. It is so fucked up. I mean, everything from bestiality, pedophilia is being accepted, and all of this sick shit that's going on. Do what you want to do, how you want to do it with, who you want to do it with. Never mind the innocent child, never mind everybody who could be affected by it. Never mind the community, fuck the child, hell, fuck my life. I mean, it is so self-destructive and disgusting, but I'll go ahead and get off my soapbox and I'll leave it right here. Let me know what you think about this fuckery with Fetty Wap impregnating another woman and another woman allowing this dusty Negro to impregnate her, and this whole baby mama, baby daddy, women fighting among women over a damn dusty ass tumbleweed. And I'll go ahead and leave a comment on that, and I will see you in the next one.